How HTML describes the structure of a web page. Alright, so remember that Word document we talked about earlier? The one with headings and paragraphs. Now imagine you want to show that same document on a website. That's where HTML comes in. HTML is like the blueprint of every web page. It tells the browser what's what and which part is a title, which part is text, and how everything is organized. When you open a web page in your browser, you're seeing a mix of words, headings, and sections, kind of like reading that Word file, but online. But behind that page is a secret recipe, the HTML code. That tells the browser how to display everything. Here's a simple example. So, what's going on here? Each word inside angle brackets is called a tag. Tags come in pairs, an opening tag like P and a closing tag like /PIV. Everything written between those tags is the actual content that appears on your page. The P tag is used to define a paragraph of text in a web page. Everything written between P and P will appear as a paragraph in the browser. For example, P, this is a paragraph. P will display the sentence, this is a paragraph, neatly formatted on your web page. Every tag tells the browser what kind of content it's dealing with. H1 means main heading. H2 means subheading. P means paragraph. That's how the browser knows what to show big, what to show small, and how to organize everything neatly. Okay, now let's look into how HTML actually uses elements to describe the structure of a web page. Earlier, we saw that HTML gives a web page its skeleton, the basic outline. Now we're diving a little deeper to understand what those parts are made of. Okay, let's take a closer look at the code from before. You'll notice a few different elements and each one has an opening tag and a closing tag. These tags work like little containers, holding the content inside and describing what it represents on the page. Alright, let's zoom in and see what a tag actually looks like. Every HTML tag starts and ends with angle brackets, those little arrows pointing left and right. The one on the left is called the less than sign, and the one on the right is the greater than sign. Inside those brackets, we write a letter or word that tells the browser what it's looking at. For example, the letter P stands for paragraph. So when you write P, that means, hey browser, this is a paragraph. And that's your opening tag, the starting point of your content. Next, we'll talk about how to close it properly in the next round. Alright, now that we've opened the tag, it's time to close it. The closing tag looks almost the same but with one tiny difference. It has a / right after the left angle bracket like this. That little slash tells the browser, hey, this is where the paragraph ends. So together, P starts your paragraph, and /P wraps it up neatly. Think of it like opening and closing a container, whatever's inside belongs to that tag. And that's it, your tag is complete. Let's see how we can add more details to our tags using attributes. Let's talk about attributes. They tell us more about elements. Attributes give extra information about what's inside an element. You'll usually find them inside the opening tag made up of two parts, a name and a value, separated by an equal sign. For example, plang equals enus, paragraph in English, P. Here, lang is the attribute name, and enus is its value. The attribute name tells what kind of information you're adding, like language, color, or source. It's written in lowercase. And the value? It's placed inside double quotes. So, in this example, the lang attribute tells the browser this paragraph is written in US English. In the last video, we learned that attributes give extra information about elements. Now let's go a little deeper. In HTML5, you can use uppercase attribute names or skip the quote marks, but honestly it's not recommended. Stick to lowercase names and always use double quotes for the attribute value. That's the clean, standard way. For example, lang equals fr. Here, lang is the attribute name, and fr is the value. Most attributes only work on specific elements, but some, like lang, can appear on any element. Each attribute value follows a certain format or a predefined list. The lang value, like en for English or fr for French, tells browsers exactly which language is being used. So now you know how attributes give meaning and context to your elements. Up next, we're diving into the body, head, and title, the three pillars that hold every web page together. Hit follow so you don't miss it, and let's keep building your HTML world, one tag at a time.